It's a pile of balls.
After picking up the pieces of my self-esteem, I managed to cobble together a little bit of positivity and decided that rather than throw that away right away with a video about Nier, which I'm still going to do, just not right now, I thought, I haven't talked about Ace Combat yet. And I think now's a pretty good time to do that. Yeah. We're going to talk about Ace Combat. And how I knew that this newest Ace Combat 7, The Skies Unknown, would be the one I'd been waiting for. I knew that it would be the one when the first line in the entire game is the question: does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? For the Jets, before the factions, before the pilot who sold his soul so he could stay in the endless blue, before the cursed patriot, before the idealistic princess and her dog, and the brutal war that knocked them both from grace, before the troubled granddaughters and the dramatic shot that would change everything. They ask this simple question:
Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you?
now that I've had time to think about it, I'm actually glad it's taken me so long to do a video about Ace Combat. Truly. A lot of the people who have probably covered the game already have most assuredly gone on about the dramatic music and the fantastic graphics and how fun the gameplay is, and those are all valid. But there's something about the way Ace Combat is written. No, let me run that back. It's not even about the way Ace Combat's written. It's something that's driven me. Not driven. Ace Combat has a element about it that makes me grip the controller a little harder. That makes me fly with a little bit more intensity, shoot with more purpose, fly more aggressively. Makes me care a little more than I feel like any of the past games I've ever done. And I really think that that's an impressive feat. Anytime a game can do that, anytime a game can make you... Immersion isn't the right word. No. Even though I have a lot of positive things to say about this newest Ace Combat, I have to admit that structurally wise, it's not exactly my favorite game. Not my favorite game in the series even. Simply because of, I guess it's the way that the difficulty scales and how a lot of the later missions, it happens when you lose your targeting system. Not lose it completely, like when lightning strikes you, but I mean when you can't tell the difference between allies or foes, even if you know that the unknown target is an enemy because you've been through that part of the mission before. If I'm remembering correctly, if you shoot before they've been positively ID'd, you'll fail. And all of the missions in that entire little section that are like that are just the absolute worst. But the whole game still manages to have me walking away with this philosophical feeling. And I would definitely understand anyone who says that they don't like they're called strange real, the reality, the story and the world that these canon Ace Combat games take place in is called the strange real. And if someone said that they didn't like it, they'd be right. I mean, I wouldn't say they were right, but I would understand it because the writing of it can come off as pretentious. This philosophical, mostly ideals Basically, all of these conflicts are pretty much fought over feelings as opposed to political or financial gains and stuff like that. It's honestly a good blend, though. The writing, the music, the gameplay. You would think that this gameplay would be more suited for something like turn-based RPG or maybe even like a cheesy character action game, but honestly, hyper intense dogfighting really fits this entire tone really well, and they've had a long time to really nail it down. The amount of work that they put in, the visuals, and making everything feel realistic without making the game cumbersome to play. So it's like equal parts video game with, like, you know, having way more missiles than a jet can actually carry. I like it. And it makes sense why a lot of people do, because it shows that you can have that blend of immersion without having a bad video game. For me personally, the aspect of the game, out of all of the aspects of the game that make it so great, my personal favorite has got to be hands down the voice acting. It's not just people reading from a script. There's a lot of emotion and passion behind all of the line reads, and I guess the more accurate word for it is there's a lot of sincerity. And that sincerity carries over so well that it makes me play the game sincerely, which is a better way to describe it than immersion. I'm not immersed, I'm sincerely trying to fly this plane, sincerely trying to shoot down the enemy, protect the target. So, in the end, if you were to ask me if the color of the sky meant anything special, I would say yeah. The color of the sky means sincerity. So, that's Ace Combat 7 in a nutshell, honestly. It's a very sincere game, if nothing else. If you can't take it seriously, if you can't get behind the message, or if you're not even a fan of the gameplay for whatever reason, then at the very least you can agree that it is a very sincere game. And let me know down in the comments what you think. Also, while you're at it, tell me what the color of the sky means to you. Be sure to leave a like, and I hope to see you guys in another video. See you later.